Hey YouTube, Sharktail here, bring you all my updated Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for Cyberse for October 2019 for post Dual Devastators. So I'm probably thinking that some of you guys are saying, why am I doing a Cyberse deck profile right now even though we have Chaos Impact coming later this month? Reason being because I'm actually doing two separate Cyberse deck profiles for this month. This one's going to be more focused with the Code Talkers since we got the new Decode monster, Decode Talker Extended, while the next deck profile is going to be more focused with Firewall Dragon Darkfluid since that card does require some plays with the Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, and XCs. So, without further ado, let's get started on this deck profile. Kicking off, I am running the 3 microcoders. Bear with me with the proxies, but if you actually do have 3 microcoder, definitely have a playset of, because not only this card can be used as link material for a Code Talker monster in the hand, but it's also your searcher for any silent spell and traps. Mostly you want to try to get the silent codec, but there's actually plenty of silent spells and traps that you can go to whether you want, but I just pretty much prefer to go for the codec, in my opinion. Then I'm running the 3 Balancer Lords. Still a really great card to have a playset of. This is pretty much your card that gives you the additional normal summon, but with the price of paying the 1,000 life points, which isn't really that bad. It does really come out in handy. Next I am running the 3 Widget Kids. Still a neat card to have a playset of. Basically, this card can give you the additional special summon for any Cyberse monsters that's in your hand, whether this card is normal or a special summon. So this card is actually really good for helping you have more plays on the field, basically. Then I'm running 2 Cyberse gadgets. I would rather prefer to have this at 3, but I do not know where my other copy of gadget went. But anyways, this is a card that pretty much special summons a level 2 or lower monster from the graveyard when this card is normal summoned. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can basically special summon a token to your field, which basically tokens means link summons. So another good card for any token producing. 2 Clock Wyverns. Yes, I am not running the Fusion because it's actually more focused with the Code Talkers, but even without the Fusion monster, Clock Wyvern is still a pretty good card to run, mainly because this is actually a token producing card. Just by paying half its life points, you can special summon a level 1 token, and because it's a level 1, you can go into Link monsters like Link Karibo since that card requires a level 1 monster. 2 Rom Claudias. I still like to run this card at 2. Basically, this card returns a level 4 or a lower monster from your graveyard to the hand, and if this card is to be destroyed by battle or by effect, then you can pretty much special summon a level 4 or a lower Cyberse monster, basically. Then I'm running 2 Backup Secretaries. Pretty much everyone knows what Backup Secretary does at this point. It's just pretty much an easy special summon. Just control a Cyberse monster. There you go. You can special summon this card to the field. Now for the one-offs, I'm running the 1 Code Radiator. Have the same ability as Microcoder that can be used as link material from the hand for a Code Talker monster, although it has a different effect. Instead of being a searcher for any silent spells and traps, this one just gains advantage from your opponent's monsters, one of your opponent's monsters, or even 2, depending on if it's used for hand or field that's link material. Their monster is lowered to 0 attacks, and also their effect is negated, so really good card to have for advantage. 1 Cyberse White Hat. I still like to run this card because mainly, 1, it's actually easy special summon, and 2, basically if this card is used for a link material, then it does give advantage to your opponent. Then you get advantage to your opponent's monsters, which basically, if this card were to be used as link material, then all your opponent's special summon monsters loses 1,000 attack for the rest of the turn. So I still find this card to be pretty good in some ways. One Degrade Buster, this is the card that pretty much like kind of deals with your opponent's big boss monsters a bit. Basically what this card does is that it can banish any monster that has 25 attack or higher on the field until the end of the turn, so kind of moves it away from the field until the end of the turn basically. And it's actually once per turn, so you can do it on your turn and the next turn, so it just kind of helps out a bit. And it's also an easy special summon. You just have to banish 2 Cyberse monsters from your graveyard. And this is actually another thing that could be worked with the Bouncer Lords with its banishing effect, because if that card is banished, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand to the field. One Lady Debug. Basically, this card is still at 1 because of the ban list, but either way, this card is still really good. It's pretty much a searcher for any level 3 or lower Cyberse monsters, and there are plenty of level 3 and lower Cyberse monsters to go into. One Ram Clouder. Basically, I just mostly like to use this card to tribute itself to bring a Cyberse monster back from the grave to the field. You can do any other monsters if you want, but I personally like to do the Ram Clouder instead. One Cyber Synchron, yes, I am running the Synchro Monster Cyberse Quantum Dragon just because I actually like the bouncing ability, which I'll actually get to that card real soon. One Sim Tablard, pretty good card for like the recycling effects. Basically, this card can be special summoned to where a link monster points to by resurrecting or by returning any level 4 or lower Cyberse monsters from the graveyard to the hand. So really like the recycling effects that this card has. And then for some of the more special summon additional effects, I'm running one Stack Reviver for the more link producing cards. One Cyberse Converter, again special summon. Catchy level 2, again with the same thing. One Link Infraflyer, and then last I am running the one Dotscaper. That is it for the main monsters. Onto the spells. I'm running 3 Silent Mining, sparing me with the proxies again, since Silent Mining is pretty much your most expensive card in this deck for now. But anyway, Silent Mining is a spell card that's actually really good for any searches for any level 4 or lower monsters by discarding a card. If you do not have Silent Minings, then for budget version, I would replace 3 Silent Minings with 3 Silent Backdoors. Then I'm running one-sided Codec. I know people would actually prefer to have this card at 3, but I do not have like 2 other copies of Codec since this was a promo card for a video game. But anyways, this is actually your main card that you actually want to go into for all like the Code Talkers special summons, since it actually does help you bring out any monster based on the attribute from your deck to the hand. And this is actually a once per chain thing, not a once per turn. You're just limited on the attributes that you actually have. Then I'm running 2 Signet Optimization. Really good spell card just for like the more normal summon effects. Then I'm running 1 Decode Destruction. You basically have to do 2 decodes now. You have the OG and then the extended. So this card can actually help a little bit more. Then for some more spells, more generics, I'm running 1 for 1 and 1 Monster Reborn. 1 for 1, really good card to play in Cyberse because you actually do have some level 1s that you actually have in your deck, like Microcoder, Cyber Synchron, and Dotscaper. Mostly you just want to go for the Microcoder, of course. And then I'm only running 2 trap cards. I'm only running 2 Sonic Conflicts. Basically, this card is actually pretty much like your Call by the Graves for your Code Talker monsters. So really like this card to play. But that is it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck. I'm running the one Cyberse Reminder and one Cyberse Quantum Dragon. Cyberse Reminder is pretty much an Xyz card that you can return any or one of your Cyberse spells and traps from your graveyard to the hand. And Cyberse Quantum Dragon, pretty much for the bouncing ability, basically just bounce like any opponent's monsters from your hand from the field to the hand. And if you do that, it can make a second attack. So really good card to play in my opinion. One Link Karibo, one Link Disciple, and one Talkback Lancer. Link Karibo for kind of more protection, basically by attributing self, your opponent's monsters lose their attack to 0. Link Disciple for more of a generic link to go into, more easy link to go into for a Link 1 basically. And then Talkback Lancer, basically to help bring any of your code talking monsters from your graveyard back to the field where this card points to. One Security Dragon and one Code Talker Security Dragon for the bouncing ability, and then Code Talker for like a more generic like monster to go into and for pretty much more protection. One Trigate Wizard, basically a really good card to play, especially if you're looking for co-link, because it does have its co-link ability, and it does really, really help you a lot, especially since this card, this deck is pretty much wants to U-board a lot. Then we got the Code Talkers themselves. One Decode Talker, one Encode Talker, one Xcode, one Power Code, one Transcode, pretty much your better Code Talker in the deck, and then one Shooting Code Talker. All these actually have different attributes, so this can actually help out well with your Sonic Code spell card. And then lastly, I am running the one Decode Talker Extended, basically your new card that just debuted in the Dual Devastator box. In the TCG, it was originally in the starter deck back in the OCG for this year, but unfortunately we're not going to get that, oh well. But anyways, Decode Talker Extended does have the same idea as the original Decode Talker. It does gain 500 attack for any monster that it points to, although the only different thing is that if a monster that this card points to were to be destroyed by battle or sent from the graveyard, it does make an additional second attack. Which isn't really necessarily a bad thing if you're actually looking for like more additional attacks. Then there you go. You actually got like another monster can actually make more than one attacks per turn. But I think pretty much more people would prefer like the original Decode for more protection. But still a really good card to play in my opinion. But that is it for my Cyberse deck profile. Like I said, I will be doing another Cyberse deck profile sometime later this month, or maybe even next month, depending if I get the card or not. For Darkfluid. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gon' let it get to me. I'm just gon' creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my little speed.